All right, welcome back, everyone. And today I want to take a look at, you guessed it, the man himself, the Cobra Emperor, the G.I. Joe classified Serpentor with his air chariot by Hasbro. This is the box. It is beautiful. It is really, really big for my setup here. Just lift the camera up so you can see. Yeah. So, yes, I'm excited about this guy. Let's take a look at the other side of the box. All right, so here we have the other side of the box. Some beautiful artwork. We have Serpentor here on his air chariot. We have Destro, Baroness, and some Cobra troops. Some of the planes. You got, Cobra Commander being manhandled. And on the front, you have this picture here along with, the flames behind the Lincoln Memorial with Serpentor sitting there in his chariot, which I'll lift that up so you can see. But you also see on the front, you can see the Viper hands that are up. Now, because this box is massive, there's a Lincoln Memorial with Serpentor sitting there. And then you have Serpentor cauterizing a wound. Yeah. Beautiful artwork. Beautifully done. Yeah, whoever did this artwork, kudos to you. Great job. Let's get this guy out of the box. All right, so now that we have him out of the box, here he is. So I just want to say really quick that this is very nostalgic because this was a great birthday gift, like I said before in the Sergeant Slaughter video, from my grandfather. And now here I have him again as an adult to put into my collection. Awesome. I just can't say enough. But anyway, besides that, I mean, look, this guy's first appearance in the cartoon was the 5-part miniseries, Serpentor Rise Serpentor. Some of you have seen it, some of you may not have, depending on how old you are. And if you're into this type of stuff, then definitely, if you have not seen it, definitely look it up on YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube when it comes to that. And you can actually see how they combed the tombs, and Destro and Dr. Mindbender had created this guy here. And I mean, it's just nostalgic. There's just so much to say about this character, and I just want, I don't want to keep you guys here all day, but his first appearance was in July of 1986, and that was in issue number 49 of the G.I. Joe Real American Hero comics. I mean, this guy was crazy. I mean, he had all the DNA of all these ancient warriors, right? And one of my favorite episodes with him was when it was called One of My Favorite Things. And that's where they had him to where he could actually change his face depending on like his battle axe or what weapon he was holding. And when he turned into the Reptilian King, I can't remember the name of that king, but anyway, he had that pet cobra, and he does come with that pet cobra, and I don't remember her name, but all I remember was the fact that the venom, the nectar, that's what he referred it to, was acid, as he was drinking it without a problem, without a hitch. So I mean, this guy had a lot of potential, and he was not a slouch, even though that they, later on they kind of made him out to be. But yeah, he was definitely something to be reckoned with. And I understand back then they can only go so far with what they were able to work with. But anyway, now here he is. We have him, and yes, come to find out that later on in the movie, he was created by, actually put in Dr. Mindbender's brain by Colobulus from Cobra Law. So yeah, and it would have been really cool that he didn't come with was that half axe that was cut in half by Leatherneck. Back in that series, one of my favorite things, or a few of my favorite things, I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, if you haven't seen that episode, definitely go check it out. All right, so enough of my rambling. Yeah, this guy comes with a plethora of things, so let's take a look. All right, so starting off, we have the Cobra Spear. Now, this spear was actually taken off his shoulder in the movie and thrown at, I think it was Duke at first, and he kind of blocked it, and when it hit the ground, it went back to being a regular snake. But this is also the spear that he threw at Falcon, and yes, it was supposed to kill Duke, but put him in a coma instead. It's just casted in all green plastic. Nostalgic. I mean, we didn't have this with the old one, but we have it now. Next, we have his sword. So you have the blade all casted in silver. I love the way they did the hilt with the cobra face on it. Very cool. I like the way that they did the actual crest of the Cobra being fanned out and it's not flat. And then you have the nice little jewel on the hilt itself. Only on the one side though, not both, just one. So I don't know if it's supposed to be on both, but hey, it's cool either way. Next we have the different crest along with the different head piece that you can add on, so you can actually switch out the head piece and the crest that he has on right now, which I will show that off in a little bit. Next we have the Cobra Emperor's staff, and that Cobra on there is just gorgeous. Now I know that these guys modeled from actual reptiles, animals when they did it, an actual Cobra. So yeah, I mean, look at that. That's beautiful sculpt work on there. The lines, the teeth, everything. It's all supposed to be in gold. This is his gold scepter, I guess. And it has the gold jewel on both sides. That's why I was wondering if the sword should have it on there also, but it's all right. But yeah, I mean, that's cool. Next, we have his pet Cobra. So, I mean, look, you can use this in either two different ways. You can use it as his pet Cobra because there's no articulation to it. It's just a snake just casted in plastic and it's just sitting there. So there's no articulation to it whatsoever. But it's cool to have. So, I mean, you can have, the only thing that's missing is the symbol on the back of the hood of the Cobra. So you could have this two different ways. You can have this as his pet, displayed as his pet, or you can have it as when Cobra Commander was turned into a Cobra from the movie. Either way, it's up to you on what you want to choose to do with it. Okay, so at some point in time, he must have gone and learned something from Shredder. Because, yeah, or he stole this from Shredder. I'm just kidding. I mean, it's cool. I mean, the blades are cool because you have the short pair right here on his wrist. And then you have the long pair. And, I mean, look how nice and straight these blades are. So you can do this for Serpentor, but you can't do this for Wolverine. I'm just saying. I mean, that was kind of a shot below the belt, I guess. But still, I mean, beautiful. They're not bent inwards. They're not all messed up, but still nice. Just gray plastic with silver. And yes, he did. I'm telling you, him and Shredder are bros. I'm telling you. No, there's no lie. No lie. I remember the old toy had something like this on it. You know, the short ones that I have on his wrist there. But still, these ones, he's hanging out with Shredder. All right, so I did not forget about his air chariot, which is actually a character of its own. I mean, this thing has taken a life of its own. It's a big mamma jamma, I'm telling you. It's nice size. You would expect it to be this size. Reminiscence of when we were kids. Everything is exactly the same. The vents in the front, the Cobra. I'm glad that they actually took the actual realism from an actual King Cobra itself and modeled this like he said in the interview. Very nice. It's all in gold plastic. Besides the huge guns. These actually can come off, and you've probably seen them in other videos where people would put this thing together. I figured I'd just put it all together and just show it off. You have the belt feed for the ammunition going into these guns. You can actually take them off and use them as some big 50 caliber guns. I mean, I don't see you standing on your feet and using that thing, that's for sure. But maybe the Terminator, but not. Maybe Serpentor might be able to because he's some super type of engineered specimen, but not an actual like Cobra officer or regular Joe or anything like that. I could see Roadblock, but that's about it. And they tilt up and down, which is nice. They have a little bit of articulation to them. I mean, beautiful. Look at the King Cobra symbol on the side of the wings. You have the stabilizers in the back. This is cool. They have the jets, the propulsion jets on the bottom, which is really nice. You have the landing gear, which I had out, which goes up and down. You just grab it and pop it out. That's nice that they added that, so it just doesn't sit flat. And very nice. I mean, you have the hover engine right there to get it to lift up. Very nice. Very well done. You have all of the controls right here. And this here, yes, does spin. You just have to spin it yourself. And then you have the pegs for Serpentor to stand on. Yeah, nice. nicely done. And last but not least, I do not want to forget about this. The mouth does open. It does have the gun in there. And it has the fangs. And the fangs are way up in there. Way, way up in there. So what I suggest is you take something and just gently bring them down, because they will come down. And there you go. And now you can have the air chariot with the fangs down. How cool is that? That is just wicked. So if you don't want to have it like that, just pop those bad boys in, close the mouth, and there you go. Now let's get into taking a look at Serpentor himself. All right, so we're down to the meat and potatoes of the video, which is Serpentor himself. Now I just want to take a quick glance at that head sculpt. I mean, that beautiful. Beautiful work. Look at the eyes. They're red. I mean, this guy here, yeah. I love the way they did that skin stretch between the opening mouth of the actual Cobra. I mean, this armor that Mindbender and Destro, right? Because he's the Mars weapon expert. Beautiful. The Cobras on his shoulders that are actually living. They actually move. They actually react to his emotions. Very nice. I love the way the tails come and wrap up around the chest, like in the vintage. Beautiful gold on the scales, on the front of the armor. The serpent, the Cobra going around for his belt. Moving down to his arms. Nice green. His gloves. Look, they even kept the gloves with the Cobra faces on there, like the vintage one. That is so cool. And then you have, of course, you know, his Shredder gauntlet on this side. The small one. Same thing on this side here as well. He has that Cobra. Down to the armor on the thighs. He has his armor coming down to his knee pads. Then you have more snakes coming around, which is just snake bodies, no heads. I got a little bit of is that gold? Yeah, I got a little bit of gold paint. Oh well, it's not gonna hurt anything. Then down to his boots. And you have the scale again. And then you have this nice, which is the same as Cobra Commander with the scales, the bougie Cobra Commander. Yeah, so nice. It's a nice piece. I'm glad they did it in cloth, not that hard plastic. And then I like the way they did this head sculpt here with this actual Cobra, but it does not, you lose your head sculpt when you have this one on here. So I'm going to remove this, put the other one on, and then I will go over his articulation, put him in a couple poses, and then we'll end the review. All right, so now I have the different head sculpt on. So let's take a look at this articulation. So his head can look up, it can look down, he can turn side to side, and he has great head tilt to give him some expression. Moving down to the arm, his arms can move out to the side. Of course, they can rotate all the way around. He has some shoulder swivel in here underneath the cape. He has a bicep swivel, which actually, you know, gets tight. And I just wanted to point out, he does have the elbow pads and then some color back here as well on the arm. I didn't point out. Dude's got some crazy triceps on him. And then moving down to the pinless double elbows, mine are really tight. So that's as far as that double elbow is going to move because of the bicep itself being so big. He has his wrist swivel and then his wrist bend. And then making your way down to the actual torso itself. He can ab crunch this far. He can move back this far. And he has a little bit of a rocker. And then he can turn at the waist, which is really nice. Now, moving down to the legs, of course, he's got the drop down legs. So his leg can move out this far, kick back this far, move up. He has the upper thigh swivel. And then he has double jointed knees. Now, here's the problem. My double jointed knees on both legs are stuck, this bottom joint, so I have to warm that up. And they're pinless, so I gotta warm that up to get that to move. He has his boot swivel, his ankle articulation. It can move forward this far, up this far, and it can also swivel. I just want to point out, be careful because moving this seems to mess up the paint a little bit. But yeah, so just be careful with that. And this arm too, I have to heat this arm up on him as well to get that to move. So as far as poses go, I was going to try and pose him off. I'll try and do a couple with what I can do. But yeah, with it being seized up like that, I mean, it's going to be a little difficult. But I just want to show you, just pop that right out, and there you go. Now he's part of the Foot Clan. I know I keep saying that, right? All right, let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do with this guy. Maybe I can get those joints to loosen up, and hopefully I can get him into a couple poses. That way I can show him off, doing a few things, and yeah, bring this review to an end. All right, so I was able to get his joints heated up enough to get them to move so I could put him into some poses. And that's all well and good, but I just have to say, to get a figure that is seized up like that in those joints is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, there's a method to fix it. Shouldn't have to. I'm not gonna bang on about it because you know what? It is what it is. It's fixed, and he's well on his way to the collection shelf where he's gonna sit. So, I mean, look, if you got this figure, if you didn't get this figure, that's a bummer because, you know, he is a great addition to the collection considering the fact that he had to be an exclusive. That sucks. He should be available to everybody. Are they probably going to do another one without the Chariot? Probably, but that's not Serpentor. When I was a kid, Serpentor came with the Air Chariot. So that's why this one here is so reminiscent to me. Now, as far as the fact of, I had a couple issues with him as far as the joint seizing up and his feet being a little bit loosey-goosey. You can fix it. Otherwise, what you got here with the Air Chariot, with the character, with his snakes, with his accessories, with his shredder accessory, and the different head crests, I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't. They did a beautiful job as far as sculpting, as far as artwork, as far as just awesome. Awesome. Now, look, like I said, I hope everybody who wanted this got it. I know people had issues from what I hear. I didn't have an issue, but yet again, I understand other people did, which also sucks. Listen, it's cool that Hasbro went and got them to us early because we know that they were supposed to be prolonged. Not getting them until December 1st or next year, whatever the case it may be. Look, I got mine today. It arrived today, and today's the 22nd of November. I gotta give a thumbs up to Hasbro on getting this guy out to me. I have to. I have to also give them credit where credit is due on creating a beautiful figure. Now, as far as, you know, putting him into crazy poses and stuff like that, I'm probably not going to do that. Yes, I did it for the video, but more than likely he's going to be on his chariot because he's the Emperor. Just like the Emperor in Star Wars sits on his throne. Yeah, you better believe it. Serpentor is going to be on his Air Chariot, and he's going to command from there. I mean, you know, when I mean command, you know, it's just, come on. That's just where he's going to sit on display. Anyway, look, I can't give them enough credit on this guy. It does have its little issues here and there, but overall, they're minor. They're just minor. So with that being said, guys, I don't have any comparisons out. So I do apologize for that. But we all know he's going to compare with G.I. Joe and Hasbro Marvel Legends area, you know, series, I should say. Sorry, Mayfex, stuff like that. You know, he's gonna fit in with them. So you can mix and match and put him wherever you want because, hey, once again, he is a crazy dude that has been spliced with a bunch of DNA, including Sergeant Slaughter's, and he definitely can go anywhere you pretty much want to put him. I mean, he, you know, and yes, the top of this staff here does swivel, just so you know. I mean, at least mine does. I don't know about everybody else's. All right, guys, so this is my review on the G.I. Joe Classified Serpentor and the Air Chariot. I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has liked, subscribed, shared, left comments. Please always leave comments and like and share and subscribe. For everybody who has, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys showing the love to this channel. And we are growing a little bit each day, and that is awesome. So with that being said, listen, I'm going to do, you're going to see a video on here. It's going to not be a figure review. It was a request by somebody very special to me. So I'm going to get that out there. I was just trying to figure out a way to do it. But when it goes up, please check it out. And if you guys have seen some of my other stuff, I do artwork, I draw and stuff like that. So it will be a drawing. And yeah, if we can get to 4,000 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway of a piece of my artwork. So with that being said, guys, please like, subscribe. Sorry, let me redo that again. Please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment down below. Please hit that notification bell so you never miss out on anything new that we are putting out there. And thank you guys once again. Thank you so much. And I will catch you on Flippy Flip.